Honors student stole my thesis to frame me for plagiarism. So I buried her. 3 years of work, 1 stolen Google Doc, and a girl with a sticker-covered Stanley Cup who thought she'd already won. By the time the integrity hearing ended, Yale Law had rescinded her acceptance, and her own mother wouldn't look at her. I'm 22, finishing my senior year in a small undergraduate honors program, 12 students, 1 shared advisor, 1 fancy thesis defense at the end that determines whether your name gets engraved on a wall in the department. The wall matters. Grad schools care about the wall. Enter Brittany. Top 5% of the class, sweet voice, pastel cardigans, and a pink Stanley Cup absolutely plastered in sorority stickers that she carried into every single seminar like a shield. Her catchphrase, used so often it became a class meme. We're all in this together, you guys. 3 things she did before any of this kicked off, just so you know who we're dealing with. She presented my idea about labor migration data verbatim, the one I'd raised in our seminar 2 weeks earlier as her new framework, while I sat there, blinking. She forgot to add me to the group chat where everyone shared notes for our methods midterm. And she offered to peer review my thesis draft, smiled, and said, I just want all of us to shine, you know. I let her read it. That was the mistake. 2 weeks before final submission, my advisor, Dr. M., 60-something, kind, exhausted, called me into his office. He didn't make eye contact when I sat down. There's been a complaint, he said. Brittany came to me yesterday. She says you've been copying significant portions of her thesis. She has a draft dated 3 months before yours. I actually laughed, out loud. Wrong move. He slid a printed copy across the desk. My introduction, my literature review, my carefully argued section on remittance flows, all there, almost word for word, but with her name in the header and a last edited date from January. She's asking the Academic Integrity Board to investigate, he said quietly. I had to tell you, I'm sorry. I asked, very calmly, for a copy of her draft. He gave it to me. I walked out. I didn't slam the door. I didn't text anyone. I didn't even tell my roommate. I went home, sat down at my desk, and made a list. She picked the wrong person to do this to. Not because I'm dangerous, because I'm boring, because I document everything, because I save every email, every version, every draft in 3 places, and because, and she didn't know this, I had been raised by a paralegal mother who taught me that the only revenge worth taking is the kind that holds up in writing. The first thing I did was open Google Docs and pull the version history of my thesis. Every keystroke, time-stamped, going back to August of my junior year. 21 months of evidence. Brittany's January draft couldn't compete with that, but I needed more than to defend myself. I needed to end this. Second move, I went into my Gmail and pulled the email she'd sent me asking to peer review my draft, dated October 14th. She had clicked the shared link at 9:47 p.m. that night. I had the access log. Third move, I exported the metadata of her PDF, the one she'd handed Dr. M authored in Word, but the first save date in the file properties, October 19th, 5 days after she opened mine. I had her, already, in about 90 minutes of quiet work. But I didn't move yet, because something Dr. M had said was nagging at me. I had to tell you, like it pained him, like he'd done this before. So I started asking around, carefully, casually. Hey, do you remember that girl Megan who left the program sophomore year? What happened with her? That's when I found out. Megan had transferred out after a plagiarism dispute. Quiet, no hearing, just gone. I tracked her down on LinkedIn and sent a polite message. She called me back within an hour. It was Brittany, she said before I'd even asked. She did it to me too. I didn't fight it. I just left. I'm sorry. She wasn't the only one. There was also a guy named Daniel, class of 2 years prior, who'd been put on academic probation his senior year over a data falsification claim Brittany had filed against him. He'd graduated, but barely, and had screenshots of the original collaborative spreadsheet, the one she'd later edited and submitted as proof against him. 2 prior victims, both with receipts, both who'd assumed nobody would believe them against the golden girl with the Stanley Cup. They were both willing to come forward. If, and this is what Daniel said, word for word, someone was finally willing to actually swing back. The hearing was on a Thursday at 3 p.m. in a wood-paneled room that smelled like old printer toner. 5 committee members. Brittany was there in a cream blazer with her mother beside her, hand on her arm. The Stanley Cup, of course, on the table in front of her, stickers and all. She presented first, read a statement she'd clearly rehearsed. "I just want my work to be recognized as my own. I trusted him as a friend." Her voice cracked at friend. Her mother squeezed her arm. Then it was my turn. I didn't make a statement. I handed each committee member a tabbed binder. Tab 1. Google Docs Revision History. 847 timestamped edits between August 2024 and October 2025. Tab 2. Her email requesting peer review access, October 14, 2025. Server stamped. Tab 3. The metadata report from her own submitted PDF. First created October 19, 2025. Pulled by the campus IT office, signed and notarized. Tab 4. A signed statement from Megan, with attached chat logs from 2022. Tab 5. A signed statement from Daniel, with the original collaborative spreadsheet showing his edit history. I watched the committee chair's face change at Tab 4. She glanced up at Brittany, then back down, then over at Dr. M, who closed his eyes for a long second. Brittany said, that's not what, in her mother's hand fell off her arm. The chair asked Brittany if she'd like a recess. Brittany nodded. She picked up her Stanley Cup, and her hand was shaking so badly it rattled against the table. She didn't come back. 2 weeks later, the verdict. Expelled, retroactively, with all academic credits frozen pending further review of the prior cases. Yale Law was notified. The acceptance was rescinded the same week. I graduated with honors. My name's on the wall now. I'm starting my PhD program in the fall, fully funded. Megan and Daniel both got formal apologies and corrected transcripts. Daniel's was framed and sent to his current employer. Brittany's LinkedIn last I checked says, exploring new opportunities and taking time for personal growth. The pinned photo at the top. Her, smiling, holding the pink Stanley Cup. Some stickers, it turns out, are permanent.